Fish Random or 960 chess. This for you guys. We got the semifinals. Semifinals game number 2. And I think the winner in between Vincent Keimer and Hikaru Nakamura will be playing against the winner in between Magnus and Fabi. Here we are now. So we have board number 2 now. Magnus versus Fabi. Board number 1 is Hikaru versus Vincent Keimer. And of course the other boards 3, 4, and 5, the fixtures are fabulous and they all worth our attention. So looks to me none of them had castled. First thing first, let me see if we are okay with the multi-broadcast thing. The software looks in good order at my end here. Do I have to modify things here, I wonder? Not sure. Okay, leave it like this, I guess, for the time being. Maybe the chessboard, though. Maybe the chessboard. Wait a minute. The chessboard. No, I mean this one here. You know something? I think that should be okay. Let me move it a bit to the left. And then lock it as it is. I think it's fine. Yeah, you could see the names. You could see the names of the players. It's a live game, by the way. Hello, Mr. 2020 something. 25. Thanks for stopping by. This is a free style chess. That means the back rank pieces are being displayed not in the classical fashion. You don't have the rooks where they're supposed to be in the corners. They start differently as all the other pieces on the back rank. But humanly speaking, they tend to get the pieces and to behave in the game in such a way that at some point you don't even know it was a freestyle chess in the beginning. That always happens. That always the case here. Bishop h6 pins the knight. So the knight on e3 can't move, at least not for the time being. And now we can debate if queen should be moving out of the pin. Now you're free, guys, to give me your personal interpretation. As you know very well, there's no engine, there's no software involved in the live games that we're watching. So we just try to figure out for ourselves. Probably queen has to go away from the pin, but where does the queen need to go? Do you think c3? Just to pinning the knight on f6, I mean. Yeah, maybe queen c3. Maybe queen c3. Then maybe we can dream about some knight d5, just to dislodge this guy away. But there's many others. There's a lot of tactics here. There's very many tactics. So yeah, guys, feel free to type in your ideas, your candidate moves. Of course, no engine or software, because otherwise it will be complete time wasting. We may just very well don't do this at all. So let's go to, so this is Magnus 29 minutes. He got a whooping 10 extra minutes against Fabi. It's his turn to play. I normally don't like to be in a pin, so probably I'd move a queen somewhere. But I think queen can also go c2 or c3. One of these two. Or do you think we should take on g6? Because if h takes g6, we're actually opening up the h. Maybe you don't even have to castle the king or anything. Just play something like king f2. And that would be amounting to castling, so to speak. But there's another thing. If h takes g6, probably black could play bishop g5. Yeah, but that's awful. Then we're going to start taking on f7 and everything crumbles. All in all, I guess h takes g6. Do we have to be worried about queen g3? There is stuff happening. Also, there is the other guy coming on to f4. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I don't even know what to say. Maybe king f2 all of a sudden? It looks to me if Magnus allows black to play queen to g3, they may have an issue. given this guy knight to f4. And maybe they'll take first. It's quite something. Queen to g3 I think is quite worrisome. So maybe white should consider king f2 after all. King to f2. Just not allow queen g3 happening. What do you think, guys, about this queen to f2 idea? Queen to f2. Definitely. Maybe. The only game that finished is Arjun Nepo. Arjun had won the game. And the other four boards are still live now, happening. They haven't finished yet. Let me go Vincent Naka. Vincent Nakamura here. Whose turn is it? Naka's turn. He's got 27 minutes. Okay, so they got pretty much the same time. Whose turn is it? Nakamura's to play. What on earth is going on? There's so much happening. If you look at the bishops, well, this guy on b3 is a bit stuck, isn't it? Behind its own pawn. So we could say the bishop on b6 doesn't do too much currently. But definitely the bishop on b7 is actually the compensation for the other dead bishop. Yeah, the bishop b7 is actually scary. "26 minutes. Plenty of time to figure out something." I notice the black knight on d6 wasn't here. You might have a queen and the knight, but this guy on f1 actually spoils the intention. So yeah. So what candidate moves are full black here? I guess if you take on e3, the other white knight is going to take back, right? So you didn't achieve anything, so to speak. Could you push the pawn? That's not quite the... I'm not sure. Maybe you shouldn't be worried about his pawn. Actually, if white takes, you kind of cool with getting a rook behind them. So probably you should let them take the pawn on g7 if they were to take. I'm not sure Vincent's going to take, though. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. But there's queen here. Okay, so yeah, this guy is untouchable. The bishop on g7 can't be taken. Okay, so what do you play with white here? With black, it's black's turn. Black's turn to play. If you trade, you trade. Should you start opening up the D and go with the other knight? Is this a bad move? Knight e4. Bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. Is this... Yeah, but then there's a fork. Yeah, but then you can take... It's a fork and it's not a fork. It's very many things happening. There's a lot of tactics. Looks like black had castled and white had castled opposite side. Opposite side castling. Boy, oh boy. But it looks to me like the black king is safer than the white king. I mean, the black king, thank you very much for following or subscribing, fellas. The black king is actually quite very nicely protected here by all those pieces next to them. Whereas the white king looks like a bit more attackable. Should you push the jeep? No, you can't. There is a rook there. So what does black play here? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? What candidate moves? Is there a crazy sacrifice somewhere? Because looks as there's a lot of tactics going on. And not an easy position. Should you play rook g just in order to push the g5, g7 to g5? The idea would be maybe you could take and sort of opening up the g, leading straight to attacking g2. Rook h to g8 in preparation for g7 to g5 and opening up the g file. Is that working, you reckon, guys? I would think about this one. I mean, Oh my god, he moved the knight back after all those seconds of thinking. He moved the knight back. Knight f6. It's so weird to play knight backwards. I mean, the knight was absolutely fine what they were, aren't they? What's this knight f6 doing, fellas? I mean, do they want to go on to e4 now? So if the bishop takes, you take back with the other knight? I mean, this is weird a little bit. This move that Nakamura played, the last move he played, knight f6, looks to be very weird option here. But maybe he got a plan to maybe relaunching on e4 or something. Very weird stuff. I thought rook g8 maybe would be... That would definitely be on the top of my candidate moves, the rook h to g8, because I want to push the g pawn. And I want to get the rook on the file where the y king is. Okay. So he played knight f6 now. And I'm not understanding fully the idea with knight f6. It looks like less ambitious, and I don't know what he want to do with that knight. The only meaning is that maybe he want to go knight e4 and... I mean, okay, knight e4. What else can you play with that knight? And for what reason would you have dropped it on f6? It's not very clear. Hello, Adi. Good to see you, my friend. Long time no see indeed. Yes, now I'm happy I can read your idea with... I have no idea what the engine thinks about I have no idea what the engine thinks. We could give it a try anyway. Yeah, we could check if the engine even considered knight f6. My understanding was rook g8. My understanding. Here, if we're talking about this very position for black Nakamura, I would thinking about rook g8. Knight f6, I haven't got a clue what's this. Okay, let's find out if you really... Oh, the bloody engine says it's perfectly equal, and the freaking tactical crazy engine goes with knight takes f2, man. Knight f2, king f2, and then f4. So the engine says knight f2, king f2, f4, and the game is equal. Okay, what happens if this... Well, this knight can't go freaking anywhere. So king g1 and then I guess queen c6 for this. Oh my god. This is a lot of freaking tactics. This is a lot of tactics. Okay, the engine, right? They see everything. Knight f2. You play a sacrifice that puts the board on fire, and all you have achieved is minus 0.2. That's all you are achieving. So why not go... The engine says, why not just go knight f6, then the second line of the engine Naka played actually. So let's block it now. If I am in between playing a very difficult move that actually only achieves equality, I'll probably go with the safer, quieter move. So knight f6 probably... Adi, I think you are correct. Knight f6 with the intent to go via e4. So now, Vincent played bishop e5, pinning this knight to the queen. That's true. That is true. Pinning it. Okay. So if this were to happen and bishop takes, probably the other bishop has to take on e4, right? Or maybe you want to move the queen out of the pin. That might be another idea. So I think Naka should probably be thinking about the queen safety. So get a queen to c6. Queen to c6, move out of the pin, preparing yourself for battery. Therefore, knight on e3 can't move anywhere for the time being. And you take it from there. Queen c6 probably. 21 minutes for Naka, 23 minutes for Vincent. So yeah. This is Vincent Hikaru. Let's go quickly to Magnus Fabi, guys. Let's go to Magnus Fabi. Bishop c2. Right, so white castle long, and this weird fish around them. Castle long. Jesus Christ, looks so weird, man. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. You could have castle either way. You could have also went castle short, but also you could go castle long. Gee. Castle long now. Okay. Bishop to g5, which I think I did mention previously. Bishop to c2. Reason being, I think Magnus wants to move the king again because that's not a very fortunate diagonal for the white queen and the white king to be onto. So bishop c2 vacating b1 for the white king, but then you have to make another move to move the queen away if you want to move guys out of the diagonal, so to speak. That bishop on g5, it's a bit worry. It's a bit of a worry here with a bishop on g5, so you may want to move the guys away. I don't know which way you want to go. Probably king b1 and then queen c3, queen d3, but it looks like you're spending an eternity to play that. And that's a nice tension here for white. I guess you just want to keep this thing as it is. After you move the king and the queen away from this dark square diagonal, oopsie. So after move the king, then I think white should be doing a bit better here, isn't it? What do you think, guys? I think white should be better here. Yeah, I think white should be better here. Queen c2. Queen c2 making space for the king. I can understand that. And then you would have to move the queen away, probably making a battery. There is a knight here, though, but you never know. Maybe things are going to be moving. King b1. Then move queen somewhere. Okay. Shall we go to MVL and up the store, guys? Board number 4 here. That's a live game. Another live game we're looking at. Bishop f4, that's a check. That's a check. So MVL has to move the king. I'm not sure you're going to be blocking with the knight. I'm not. That's awful. You've got to move the king. You have to move the king, and moving the king means you're going to go, what, b2 or b1? That's a question. I'm not sure. You're not going to stay on the c file anymore because there's more stuff happening, right? So, come on, man. So, move the king on the b file, which we can debate where exactly the white king is supposed to go. King b2 or king b1. I guess you want to move out of the c file as well. Not just out of the check, which you must, but you want to stay away from the c file. So where do you go? Well, probably b1. I'd say probably b1 just to making sure you will not get kind of pinned at some point by the other guy. Very difficult to say if you go b2 or if you go b1. On the other hand, if you go b1, so he moved b2. Okay, there's no place for... Okay, let's not think about something that would have happened if things went differently. He went b2. b2, on the other hand, also defends the knight if there is any funny stuff attacking it. So king b1 goes away from the check, away from the c file, and protecting the knight if there is any rook coming, I don't know when, and attacking your knight. So, okay. That's Nordic Black and MVL White. And the board number 5, again, amazing players. Prague with Richard. Prague is white here. Is it me or white's doing a bit better? I mean, I'm not even sure. I'm not sure. The reason for which Richard played a6 to a5 is because he want to play again. And he wants to dismantle those two pawns and he want to get the rooks in action. It looks very, very reasonable to me. White can play something out with the H pawn, but it'll take you a long time to figure out something here. I think white. Sorry. I think black's better here. What do you think? What do you think, fellas? I think I think black is a bit better here, right? Am I correct? I think. I would feel safer with the black king, I guess, than the white king. Oh, sorry. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Freaking king is here. A5. Yeah, I guess you want to do that. A5. And white wants to push the other guy. H5. And then pushed again. Or getting king here. H5. They're not going to take. If they don't take, you could take. Then they're going to take with F. Or they're going to take with H. None of these. The pawn is pinned. Can't move because the queen is gone. So queen g3, this guy is pinned. Can't move anywhere. They're still gonna put. He's still gonna push the h4 to h5, isn't he? Later on, not now. Well, hell, it's still ongoing. Probably equalish at this stage, but it's still happening. This guy's gonna be moving for sure. The a pawn is gonna be pushed, and the h pawn is gonna be pushed for white. So now black goes with f. Goes with f because I suspect he wants to play f4. So he played f5. He want to push this guy one more time, exactly. And that's the reason for which white played e3. To sort of blocking this guy a bit. Because if you didn't play it, and black plays it, it's not looking good for white. So you try to stop the f4 being pushed by black, and you play e3. So that this thing don't happen. Okay then. Okay, what else black's doing here now? Well, there's many things, but do you play something with a knight? I think you sort of can, if that's the strongest, unless you want to push this guy. But that takes a very long time to play this kind of stuff. I guess maybe what? Knight f6 for knight g4, right? What else is here? Knight f6. Or do you think maybe e4? No, you can't. It's pinned. You can't push e4 because you lose the queen. Yeah, you can't play that one. But you can definitely look into this and this. Maybe you could. Can you? You sort of can. Well, that's time for calculating it. It's difficult. This bishop is beautiful. Black's bishop on b7 looks very good to me. When you decide to play f4, you're also enabling the other bishop to look along this diagonal. Given this h5, that will be further weakening. I'm not sure what you having to hide the black king behind. If you keep pushing those pawns, who's going to defend the black king? I mean, it's out in the open, right? Luckily for Richard, his opponent, Prague, doesn't have the dark squared bishop. That would have been very scary. Well, back to Vincent and Hikaru. What did the guys play last time? Knight f6, bishop e5. Naka played bishop a5. Anyway, the bishop was dead here. When bishop went on a5, he actually attacks this guy. The only way to keep it alive is to play a knight, maybe. My God. Vincent went with the killing tactics already. Look at this guy, man. Jesus Christ. He took on f5. This game is beautiful. Knight can't take because bishop takes the queen. Right. If bishop takes the rook, Vincent's going to take first with check. King's going to move, or they're going to block, and then he's going to take the rook with the other rook. So this is beautiful. It is absolutely superb. Look at this one. Wow, what a move Vincent pulled here. Again, if bishop takes, you're going to take first on e6 with check, and then you're going to take. But what if, oh my lord, if they take the bishop, you're going to take back with the knight, having like triple attack on this knight. It's amazing how Vincent comes with such a move against Hikaru. It really is amazing. I'm not sure it's the most objectively correct move, but it's just so great. I mean, you can't say the young player is not very brave. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. Can you believe that? Move number 22, and bishop takes f5 against Hikaru. Bishop takes f5. This is like out of the blue. I mean, look at this. I mean, just look at that move. Bishop takes f5. Oh boy. Wow. I think I am very, very impressed with the last move that Vincent played. He kind of deserves to freaking win. I mean, it's not going to be easy to beat Hikaru in 18 minutes, and even if you took a pawn on f5, but it's very creative. That's what I call a very creative move. Bishop f5. Where the hell did he get this move? How did he get it? Bishop takes f5. Knight can't take, right? You're losing queen. If pawn takes, you're going to take back with the knight, and you're going to get this guy anyway. He can't be defended so many times, which is 3 times. Again, if pawn takes, knight takes, this knight is going to be captured, right? So if bishop takes, you're going to first take back with the knight, checking the black king. My God. Okay, this one is great. The last move Vincent played, I think it's the puzzle of the day. What do you play with white? Bishop f5. Jesus Christ. How can he come with this move? The more I look at it, the more I like it. Bishop f5. Vincent. Jesus. Vincent. I can't believe that. I guess Hikaru is also not very happy with a bishop takes f5. What a move. What a creative young man has played this bishop f5. I love it. I absolutely love it. Did you see this, Addy? Bishop f5? Thanks for following the ghost undercover chess, mister. Bishop f5. I'm watching it in amazement. That is something, isn't it? I think it's a more beautiful game than Magnus Fabi. And all credits to Vincent Keimer. Bishop f5. Oy, ay, ay, ay. Let's go Magnus and Fabi here. Alright, fellas. Whoa, whoa, wait. We were here. Knight, wait. We were here. Bishop c2, knight f4 takes. Queen takes. Bloody hell, double attack on the knight. If you move the knight, it's gonna be very difficult along this diagonal. I'm not even sure what the heck you're supposed to do. He played knight to f, but now he's gonna move the freaking queen. queen's gonna get traded now, right? Queen takes d2, or knight takes. You're still in a pin. e5. Move the king away, so knight is free to go. Rook e6. And Magnus' turn to play with a ton of time. So Magnus now is having 18 minutes and Fabi is having 9 minutes. So pretty much you could say double time now for Magnus available on his clock. Rook e6. Rook e6, like freaking why? You want to move the bishop somewhere and you don't want to lose this guy or something? Or you want to castle short and then get the rook here and keep pushing this? What? Are you supposed to castle short or play king? King g7 is awful, man. I don't think black wants to move the king on a dark square. I think it looks awful. I think if you want to do anything with the black king and getting the other rook in the game, you'll have to castle short someone out the door. Alright, just pardon me guys a sec. Let me go out the door, man. Alright, where were we? We were here. Alright. So, black doesn't move on the dark square g7. They're going to be castling short, I guess. And then you make use of the other rook. That's a nice game to watch. Vincent Naka here. My God, this move that Vincent played is just the move of the day, for Christ's sake. Bishop f5. I'm not sure it's the most sound, but it's absolutely so creative. And I think I can understand most of it, if not all of it. As I said, bishop f5 took. This is, my God, I thought he was supposed to play knight takes. I thought he was supposed to play knight takes f5. You know, you're going to take this guy anyway. He took the rook. Jesus Christ, Vincent. This guy is crazy, man. This guy is so crazy. Rook takes. The frick? Well, in principle, amongst many others, you want to get the other rook if he has if he got a chance. If the bishop takes, I think you're going to do a check first, then queen plays, then he takes back. And look, this is weird stuff, man. Very weird. Wait a minute. What does he want to do here? If bishop takes e1 now, what's white supposed to play? Bishop takes e1. What do you play with white? Do you take the rook? Check. And queen has to take. And then you take the bishop. Or do you play something else? And if it's something else, like what is it? This is the most creative game, I think, in this game number 2 of the semifinals, ladies and gents, I think. I think this is the most creative one. Rook takes d6. I thought white was supposed to play knight takes f5. Let me see if my move knight takes f5 makes any sense whatsoever. It's not that great of a move. It's rook takes d6 better, which he did play rook d6. If bishop e1, rook d8, as I said. But he made all these creative moves only for a situation in which actually black does a bit better. But that bishop takes f5 was a creative move. And also very unexpected. Very unexpected. It's like he tried to break that deadlock and Go with something creative. It was creative, but sadly, it's not enough being creative. What is important all the time, it's the efficiency of the move you decided to play. That's what's the most important. Sadly, the most important in chess is the efficiency, and then the beauty comes second. If you manage to play something that is both efficient and great, gorgeous, beautiful, then that's amazing. But the first one has to be efficiency. Rook takes d6. Okay. Yeah, well, bishop e1, you don't have a choice. You would have to take on d8 to check. Bishop takes, rook takes, check from the rook. So bishop takes c1. Of course, you take rook takes d8 straight away, right? Yes, which you did do automatically. And now you have to take with the queen right now. And okay, black sort of doing better. I understand. And yeah, and now he mounts a lot of pressure. He wants to make that guy go. Would you drop it here? Would you play or queen c3 rather, or queen a1? I think queen c3 is the move. I think queen c3 is the move, right? You move the queen off the back rank. You defend your bishop, right? If you don't want to play queen c3, what else have you gotten? If you don't play queen c3, you play what? You're not going to trade, right? You're not going to trade. You could play this. Two candidate moves I'm seeing here, ladies and gents. I'm seeing queen c3, defending the bishop against the rook. And I'm thinking bishop f4, if you don't like queen c3. No, so that's what I think. Queen c3 or bishop f4? Okay, bishop f4. Vincent played bishop f4. One of the two moves I was thinking. Bishop f4, amongst others. Might be playing bishop to g5. Stops the pawn. That's not going to happen, though. But just saying. More importantly for the bishop is to stay on this dark square diagonal, not allowing the black king any moving away. And he needs to make use of the knight on f1. That knight has to come out, has to move out. I don't know where. Also, when you move the knight, you need to still think. You need to think about rook taking on e3. You're going to mess up your pawns greatly. Greatly. So, okay, we're gonna have to take it step by step. Let's wait for black's move, which I don't know what black moves is now. It could be anything. It could be this guy. I think looks decent. Because this knight on e4 enables the queen to hitting here. So it's something. It's something. So looks to me it is a bit easier for black now to come up with some moves than for white. So knight e4 seems incredibly normal to be played here. I like knight e4 very much. Or maybe knight g4? Just keeping your bishop's diagonal clean and hitting on g2. So let me erase the current paint. What's wrong with this? Okay, this pawn is a little bit hanging, right? Well, you can't have everything, but... No, g6 to protect f5. Then he is going to launch the knight onto g4. Okay. So you really don't want to allow knight takes f5. So g6 to protect the f5. And then playing knight g4. Challenging this guy and enabling queen takes h4. So now it's getting really dangerous for Vincent. Okay. For Hikaru, I think knight g4, knight e4, I think knight g4, right? For black. For white, I don't know. I don't know what you play for white. You gonna go f3 now? Would you gonna go f3? Sorry, I can't think of anything else but f3, which is it's a purely defensive move, but it has to be played. I mean, if you allow black to play knight g4, I think you're in deep trouble, right? f3, there you go. Yes. I'm happy to see my thinking actually happens every now and then to be some Super Grandmaster's thinking as well. So f3 had to be played. Stopping the knight, it was just too much. If you allow black to get knight g4, I think you have big problem. Rook e6 played by Naka. Well, I think king f2 probably should be played. Or maybe you want to get the knight on f1 somewhere? Like where? If you could play king f2 and then get the other knights in the game meaning, heck, what, knight g3? Does that meaning getting the knight? But what are you going to do from g3 onwards, so to speak? Where are you going to go? So that makes me think maybe knight d2 is being required here. Then some knight b3, and then you may have some prospects, perhaps. So if speaking about the knight f1's activity, maybe this and then maybe this. That's the only way you could do something with that knight, right? I mean, what do you want to play? So probably you should think about that one. And maybe you should play king f2 when it's absolutely necessary. For instance, when black is making a battery attacking this guy like twice or something, then you have to play king f2. If white has any dreams about at least drawing or something, that knight on f1 has to come out. And you're going to keep the queen on e1 for as long as the black queen is here. Well, if black queen goes I don't know where, then you could go with a single strike. You could go queen a5 and attack this and that. That is this and that. But the queen is here. So if black queen goes away from that diagonal, a5, d8, then you could play queen to a5 attacking that pawn, which probably black's going to play rook a6, but just say. But also the c5 would be under attack if white queen makes it on a5. So that makes me think Hikaru is not going to move the queen just now. He's not going to move the queen just now. Hello, Mr. Smiling Pawn. I'm not ignoring you, pal. I don't see your messages, man. Because I'm having the chat is not unified. I'm not streaming just on TikTok. I'm having 4 other destinations. And I think you can read for yourself who won the game. Good day. Rook e6. Knight d2 perhaps. Knight d2, king f2, but not maybe the most stringent move to be played now. Not the most necessary. King f2, I mean, not the most necessary, right? Knight d2 would be an idea. Knight d2, knight b3. For all the good reasons. Knight d2, knight b3. Yeah. So this is the top of my move that I would consider playing here. But let me tell you something. If white plays knight d2, you know what I think black's going to play immediately? He's going to play queen a5 straight away. Because black is very happy to go for trades. So let me say this again. Knight d2, and then black's going to come with this immediately. Immediately. and your knight is pinned. That's an absolute pain. You actually can't really play knight d2 right now. Hell, I don't even know what you're supposed to play. Maybe queen c1? You gotta do them in some move order. So queen c1, maybe. Maybe queen c3? My god, there's so many options and they're all so time consuming. Okay, upon thinking and thinking and thinking and over thinking, maybe queen c3 after all. Maybe queen c3. Queen c3, you keep all the good ideas we said, and you can then play relatively safely knight d2 after queen c3. Because if you play knight d2, now black's going to play queen a5. And it doesn't look okay for white. So queen c3 first, and then knight d2. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, queen c3 and then knight d2. Queen c3, knight d2. We'll come back to this. Magnus Fabi here. What did they play? Oh man, Magnus played a couple of king moves here in this game, I'm telling you. Alright, so he decided to actually push h pawn. Okay, cuts off the black king g7 forever. But also, you sort of have to keep the rook to defend that pawn on h6. He played e4, 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 shutting off the knights on f6. Can't go anywhere. You gotta go via the back rank if you want to do something. Okay, he pushed the pawn. I guess Fabi pushed the pawn amongst others for allowing this. b4, knight e7. King moves yet again. b4 had been played. Again, every single move is very much multi-purpose. When knight goes d7, you won't be able to go c5. And you might be able to play some bishop on b3 as well. So b4, a bit of a multi-purpose move. Knight d7, king goes away. Rook attacks c4, but is defended currently only by the knight. So if this guy takes the knight and you take back, c4 is hanging. So you got to do something. So bishop b3. That's exactly what happened. It makes sense. Defending the c4 if knight disappears, which, by the way, would be very good for white. If the bishop on g5 disappear, would be very good for white. I don't think Fabi is going to take that knight. Not yet, at least. Also, bishop b3 prepares this kind of move. It's a discovered attack on the black rook. So rook goes now to f6. I guess the threat is bishop takes d2, forcing rook to take, and then rook captures f3. This is serious. So you have to defend f3. Well, I would have defended f3, but not Magnus. He has a different plan. He pushed the freaking c5. So if bishop takes here now, I'm taking, they takes f3, but then the other guy is actually hanging. So we could potentially take maybe with the rook. And we attack here. The knight, that means we attack the knight. When the knight moves, also the other pawn is hanging. So this is the grinding that actually Magnus had just started to do. And boy, is he accurate. He is probably the most accurate. c5. He ignores the f3 because he thinks he can threat more. This guy looks in great. The bishop looking great. The b3, the b2 bishops, they're looking great. Bishop a6 by Fabi. Okay, you can't play rook f. I'll give you that. Okay, bishop a6 prevents any rook f1. But I guess we can come up with knight c4, just giving this guy completely, giving up completely. Then you're going to take on d6, attacking the black rook, attacking f7. This is serious. So can you do knight c4? I think knight c4. Yes, Matty, it is. Thanks for following, Mr. Fullbox, the ghost. Yes, it's a live game. It's a live game, Matty. It's the freestyles or Fisher Random or 960, so to speak. Yes, it is a live game. They playing in Paris now. It don't matter. I mean, okay, freestyle, but if you look at a position, you don't even know they started with Fisher Random. You don't know. What I'm seeing now, it's quite tactical, and I absolutely love it. I love it. It's great tactics. Great tactics. Just great. So again, I am thinking about knight c4, which I think either bishop takes, and I'm taking back, and I'm very happy about. Or if they don't take, I think d6 is going to disappear very quickly. And after knight takes, black's going to have a problem because of the bishop b3 and the knight on d6. So I'm not sure what you're playing. All in all, I think it's very complicated ending. Middle game. Apologies, not quite ending now. It's a middle game and it's very, very sophisticated. Very complex. Bishop a6. We'll definitely come back to this. We'll absolutely come back to this. Vincent Hikaru. Oh man, what did he play? f3, rook e6. Jesus, knight c2? Why the hell did he play knight? What's he want to do with that? What is going on? Oh, I think I know what's going on. Sugar. He played knight c2 because he wants to get the other knight to do something via e3. He wants to get knight f1 to e3. What I thought personally is maybe going for queen c3 in order to play knight d2, knight b3. But Vincent chose a different way to develop it, guys. So he went with... He played the backward move, you see. But maybe that's not very bad either. Knight c2 in order to get this guy. The other knight, knight on f, over to e3. Perhaps. Perhaps. Queen b1. Man, the guys are moving things around here. Queen b1. Queen b1. And just right now, as we speak, knight to d7. Well, you know why queen b1? Because it's this bloody queen to b8. Not checkmate, but it's something. And queen b1 together with bishop on c5 want to go queen b8. So Hikaru played knight d7 to prevent that. You can't let that happen. Queen went back on e1. I think Vincent looks to be, might he be happy with the threefold repetition now here? He went back. Why? Well, I don't know. Well, okay. He wants to see what black decides to play, and he wanted to save himself a couple of seconds here. Very interesting. Okay then, queen e1. Let's see what black plays. I don't think Hikaru is going to accept a draw with a threefold repetition. I don't think so. He's looking for active ways to do something different. Can he do queen b6? Queen b6. Can he do that? Or knight b6? Knight b6 would be just simply attacking this pawn. You open up the d for the queen and stuff. Is knight b6 that bad? Knight b6, knight b6. If you don't want to do threefold repetition and stuff, probably knight b6 would be an idea. But then if you do knight b... Whoopsie. He didn't do it. That was a mouse slip. Huh? Wait a minute. Did he actually do it? No, he didn't. Wait a minute. Let me refresh the page. It's getting weird. He played the king move. King move. King move. From all the possible moves, he chose to play king b7. Why a king move? Why the hell a king move? And why b7? Was there nothing else better to do for black? Was queen b6 that bad? King b7 he played. Okay, not a blunder, but what's the thing? As you want to go, maybe later on you want to go this way. We'll see about that. I'm not sure. Maybe you want to play this after all. Very complex stuff. And actually, Vincent, not just that he got a very difficult position, he also got problem with the time. He finally played, as I said, knight on f1 now went to e3 because the other knight vacated the e3 square. So he develops, he tries to, and he does develop. And some good news for white is that he is able to actually play knight to d5. That's a heck of an outpost. Knight to d5 is a very, very good outpost. Knight b6 now, happy to trade this guy straight away, but also it attacks c4. So you can't really go knight d5. Well, if you could, you're going to lose very quickly. So now I don't know what to say. Would you do queen b to pinning this guy? Queen b1 to just pin. It's very difficult. Then what do you play? This is very difficult middle game. Nearing end game. Very difficult. There's so much things to think about. Could you go queen c3 with the old plan that we said? I had an old proposition with queen to c3, which in this scenario looks even more beneficial for white. Not just that you sort of defend c4, so you might be maybe moving that knight, but queen c3 might allow this kind of stuff. Just saying. I think queen c3 is one of those moves that you need to play right now. Like right now, queen c3. I like very much queen c3. So, ladies and gents, I think queen c3 is one of those candidate moves I would definitely consider playing. Queen c3, right? Queen f2. Jesus Christ. Queen f2? Why queen f2? Why not queen c3? Queen c3 was even better. More flexibility for the queen, right? It's time to ask the Almighty. I think queen c3 better than queen f2. Let's find out. g3, queen c3, g3, queen f2, which Vincent did play, but it looks awful. Bishop g5 attacking queen, king h2, king f. What's wrong with queen c3? Knight. What's wrong with queen c? Oh my god, is this guy. It's h4 pawn. All the time being under pressure. If you do queen c3, it's queen takes h4 straight away. And not just that they take a pawn, they attack your guy here as well. It's awful. It's very bad. H4 is seriously a massive weakness there for queen f2. And it doesn't look okay, sadly for Vincent. Queen to f2 trying desperately to defend h4. Yeah, there is something about attacking c5, but okay, it's starting to look increasingly good for Hikaru again. And Vincent just defends now. Back in defensive. h4 has to be defended. You might be able to play bishop g5, winning something. A tempo and maybe a small initiative. Bishop g5 can't really be stopped, right? Well, black will call all the shots here, so black decides what to do. Queen f2. Yeah. Hikaru decides what to do here. Magnus Fabi. Wait a sec. Knight takes e6. Let me just go back a couple of moves. That was such a sharp position. Bishop a6, denying any rook f. Bishop c4. He didn't play knight c. Bishop c4. Knight b8 by Fabi. b5 by Magnus. Gee, he pushes the pieces backwards. My goodness, rook takes c5. Oh, Lord. Jesus Christ, he took the knight that defended the bishop on c4. And rook takes c4. Gee, come on. Bishop takes c5. If you take it, it's back rank checkmate. Jesus Christ. So bishop takes e5, because if this guy captures, there is a back rank checkmate. Lord, oh Lord. Gee, bishop takes and attacks the knight now. Knight takes. Bishop goes b8 again. Back rank checkmate. Just back rank checkmate. And if you drop a rook, bishop's going to take a7. It's just unbelievable, man. It's just unbelievable. So bishop b8, practically we're looking at rook d8, just checkmate. One of the two black rooks need to go backwards, and then bishop takes a7. Can you believe that? That's exactly what's happening. That is exactly what's going on. Yeah. It's a background checkmate, dude. So Fabi has to either push the f pawn. Well, he needs to defend against the back rank, whatever that move is. Either rook or f, either. Bishop takes a7. All right, so now bishop takes a7, of course. Of course take bishop a7, right? How you don't play bishop takes a7? Yeah, bishop takes a7, exactly right. Now you're attacking b6. If you defend somehow, no, he didn't even bother. He pushed the pawn back. This bishop is strong, guys. This bishop is crazy, crazy strong. Do you do doubling of your rooks? Just go with the good old checkmate threat? I think I'm seriously thinking, if I had whites, if I was Magnus, rook h1 to d1, right? I guess. Rook h to d, because I want to play simple and very effective moves. Rook hd. Is there something stronger? I'm not sure. I'll definitely consider rook hd1. I mean, what do you do with the rook on h anyway? There's nobody attacking the pawn on h6, so you just free up that rook. Rook hd1. Makes sense. I'll definitely go rook hd, rook hd, rook hd. Totally. He's got 6 minutes and something. And plenty of time. Very interesting. Bishop d4. I mean, I understand he wants to go something like g7, right? I understand that. So if there is a rook like this, you're going to play the other rook. And I think you're kind of cool. Okay, let's see about that one. If Magnus played it, I think he calculated he's doing just fine. So what do you play now? Do you play just bishop f6? Or bishop g7? Which way? I mean, I guess you want to move that bishop away, right? So that you can get your rooks on the d file. Yeah, we can debate where exactly the bishop is going to go. f6 is also interesting. Yeah, bishop f6 is very interesting because it doesn't allow any black rook to move over to d. Still having double power. You know why? Maybe we can play this kind of stuff. Then go rook to b, then getting the other rook and do a threat maybe along this line. Well, there is a knight here, true, but maybe it's not going to stay there for long. Still not over. Would you focus your attention on attacking the b pawn if you're white? No, he double up exactly as I said I would have played. You double up your guys. I think now he can go this way. Only to d7. And then you play this. Rook a. Oh, he wanna... Yeah, but it's not a big problem, right? I guess whites should be winning now. That bishop is killing everything. The bishop f6 is a massive headache here for black. Because this guy is just cutting all the dark squares. That bishop is terrifying. The knight on e6 has to stay there pretty much forever. If the black knight moves, then it's going to be rook d8 on the back rank. And I think black has a big problem with that. Looks to me, ladies and gentlemen, Magnus is going to be winning this. Magnus is winning it. Rook d2, d7. Maybe then rook b7, attacking this black pawn from behind. Maybe making a battery, then taking on f. I'm not sure, just say rook d3. Why? Why rook d3? Well, first thing first, he's not rushing. It's worth mentioning. Rook d3. Why? Well, he had for himself a couple of seconds. He's not rushing. Knight can't really move. If the knight goes f4, just give an example again. If knight goes f4, we're going to have rook d8 on the spot. So I think just he moved the move. That is a good move. It's a bit of a waiting move. But if you put it in balance, what's black supposed to do anyway? So what is black supposed to play? g5? I guess like why? Because you still want to go f4? You want to go f4. Anyway. White should be winning, right? Let me send this message. Close. So g5 as a desperate attempt to getting somewhere with the knight. But then again, we're back to rook d8. So you can't just ignore that. But on the other hand, what can black play anyway? I mean, honestly, what's the game? What's the plan for black? You're suffering here. It's not great. Magnus can play rook d7 now, I guess, and just wait. Or maybe he could play what? Rook d7 makes sense, but he can also play rook d5 actually now, because you're attacking this guy and also you're attacking this guy. On g5, that is. That's serious. Okay, the most aggressive move looks to me for white to play him now and available is rook d3 to d5, attacking b5 and attacking g5 twice. The only counterplay for black would be attacking the a2, which easily defendable with the other rook d1 over to d2. So let's put it like this. For white, very easy to play rook d5 with the threats I've highlighted on the screen. The only play for black would be to go rook a8 with with rook e to a8 for attacking the a pawn. But then you move the other rook from d1 over to d2 and you just defend it. So he defends it now. My God, I think he's just playing with the food. He's playing rook d1 to d2, like anticipating and demotivating any rook a8 attempt. Just put it this way. And now he plays a game of just waiting for the opponent to crack or waiting for the opponent to sign off or to resign or something. Hello, Ed. I haven't played checkers in my life. Or maybe I played when I was a kid and I didn't like it. I don't play that stuff. What's the bloody thing doing? B5 to B4. Okay, he wants to put a little bit more pressure on the A to potentially pin pawn. So Magnus now play King B1 away from the pin, so to speak. Okay. 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 Okay, King B1. So there's no more a problem with this guy going down one more time because we could just take it. Something's gonna worsen here very quickly for Fabi, I'm afraid. Why? Because black sort of had run out of moves for a while now. Black doesn't have any more moves available. Knight really can't move. Again, knight can't move because of the back rank issues. So knight can't move. Okay, they played here, but does that mean anything? What do you play? Do you play rook b3? I don't know. What do you play with white just yet? If you play rook b3, you no longer have the battery on the d file, and that means the black knight is free to go from black's point of view. So he played the bishop now. I'm streaming, Phyllis. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just mute this one, and let me mute this one. So we're back now with the live stream. Okay, back with the mic. So bishop e7 played by white. Rook now attacks the bishop. Okay, where do you go? You go back, right? Where do you go with the bishop? You go back on f6, but you don't want to do like threefold repetition just yet. So I'm not sure. Could you play rook d7? I don't know yet. I guess Magnus should be able to find something. I don't know what you play. Bishop f6 is back where they were, and I guess the other rook will go on a8. And I think Fabi is happy for a threefold repetition. I don't think Magnus is happy with threefold repetition. But what's the way to win? Less than a minute for Fabi here. Less than a minute. Bishop f6, back where they were, exactly. But now Fabi's going to play the other rook. Exactly. So how do you play differently here? What's the plan for white to win? How do you win it? If you start committing your rooks away from the d file, you're no longer enjoying the threat with the battery on the d8 and stuff. So once you take a rook away from, what do you play? If you move rook up to d5 saying, they're going to move b3, and they're going to be opening up the a and b. I don't think it's looking very good. I don't think it's looking very good. So rook on d3 sort of has to stay on the third rank, because Fabi, amongst others, is keen to pushing b4 to b3. I think he's very much interested in playing b4 to b3. So the rook on d3 sort of has to stay there, right? So yeah, thanks for following, by the way. Thanks for the follow, fellas. Okay. Oh boy, he moved rook on the second rank to the b2, defending twice, attacking this pawn on b4, which I think he intends to attack again with bishop e7. And that's how things are collapsing for black. That's his find. Bishop e7, I suspect. Bishop e7, he want to go back with this move. Which, by the way, the pawn on b4 could be attacked also with the other rook as well. Maybe. So once the b4 is getting gone, he could actually go with this. And that's how he wins. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look, to finding such a simple idea, it's not easy. I thought the D file was paramount, but actually he swaps the D file with the B file by playing rook b2. Magnus's plan now is to get the other rook over to b3. Probably he want to break here and then he want to go b8. At which point I think Fabi's going to just resign. Bloody hell, he doesn't even bother. He goes rook a6. Why, man? Why? Again, you can't take now with the b2 because this. So, or can you? Nah, you can't really do that. Right? I'm not sure. How do you take the b pawn? Do you play the other rook? Then you're going to have this. And also the rook attacks your bishop on f6. I mean, if you think it's easy to win against Fabi, think again. Well, we'll never be able to beat Fabi, but Magnus can. Oh my god, he just played the rook b3. Can you believe that? You can't go this, man. Because there is a bishop there. So he actually swapped the d file for the b file, right? And he want to take on b4 now. And then you want to go b8 and game's over. And game is over. No. Back to the life move. So now this guy will be captured. Is it too much if I say that actually Fabi probably resigns now? He can't defend b4. He can't move the knight, really. And even if you can, what's the bloody point of moving the knight anyway? He moved the knight on the back rank. Okay, now rook takes b. Oh, whoa. Bishop takes g5 first. Or maybe bishop g7 or bishop g... No, I think bishop g7 is key. Oh my god, he played bishop g5. Why? Well, what do you play after this then? Well, I guess you can go f4. Yeah, so he just resigned. There's no reasonable move to play here. He resigned at this stage. I guess if they play rook g6, well, you're going to play bishop f4. This guy can't be defended. It can't be defended. It's going to be taken, and then you can't stop rook b8, which will trade off the other rook for sure. Okay, there's just not good moves anymore left here to play with black. There's no good moves left. So, fellas, let me see when they will be playing the other game in the semifinal. Hey, where is it? Wait a minute. They're supposed to be playing another one. Wait a minute. Let me go to broadcast. Where's this freaking thing? Broadcast, yeah. Let me find the, where is it? The freestyle chess, this and that. Game 2 finished. True. Oh, this was the. No, tomorrow is the final, like in 20 hours from now. So they'll be starting about 12 p.m. or something. Tomorrow, that is. Yes, tomorrow. Final game 1. April the 13th. That will be tomorrow. So that was the semifinals. So Magnus going to play tomorrow Hikaru, right? Magnus going to play Hikaru tomorrow, fellas, in the final. The good old rivalry. Good old rivalry. Absolutely. Totally, man. Great. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. I look forward to covering the final for tomorrow, my dear friends. Elite Super Blitz Arena, forget about this one. Hyper Bullet, forget about this one. I barely played the Bullet or the normal Blitz. Forget about the what? 5-0. Let's do 5-0 then. At least I can dream about doing something. Let me see if you guys see the board and everything. Yeah, you do. Hey, what's this guy playing? Okay, he goes after the e4 pawn, which he'll be taking sooner or later. Hey, thanks for following the ghost. Appreciate. I'm going to lose that pawn. Forget about this pawn. I'm not going to hold on to the pawn. He's going to take it back. Takes now. Let me play bishop e7. I want to develop. Knight takes, bishop takes, I guess. Yeah, I'm just developing at this stage. I'm going to play castle short and all. Yeah. And play c6. This bishop is a bad bishop. The bishop on c8 is suffering a bit. What about knight e? Let's change the tune a bit. Yeah, but still it's not great. Wait. Gotta move this guy one more time. Wait a minute. Why don't I make a little bit of pressure here along that? Let's play this for the time being. 5 minutes game. Okay. Yeah, thanks for following the ghost, guys. Keep doing that. Following, please. All right. What is it doing? Well, hell, let's chase the bishop then. Let me play this. I might be changing my mind. Wait a minute. Let me play the wow. Nah, forget about it. I'm cool. I think I'm cool. I think it's okay for the time. Also, the bishop could have stayed here. You never know. You know what you're going to take with that guy, isn't he? Yes, indeed. Can I say my beautiful bishop? Well, I could go here. Then the guy takes. Man, he's got too much power over those dark squares over there, you see. Way too much power. I don't like that bishop. I moved away. Yeah, but this guy is this and is this. There's a bishop and there is a rook looking at f. Gotta tread carefully with that one. Let's see. Well, if he takes the bishop, I'll have to take back. There's no doubt about it. Where else can I get my bishop, though? He's mounting the pressure. I gotta go back here. I'm attacking, right? I'm attacking the queen. I have to be careful about this as well. Well, I'm attacking the queen and I'm attacking the knight, which I'm very happy to take straight away. So knight takes f6. I'll have to take it, right? I have to. It's just too much. It's too much, fellas. And now I can neutralize this bishop like this. Wait. Let's play this for the time being. That's okay. Maybe. Reason being this stuff, right? Yeah, but there is also this. There is many, and there is this. Okay, I've got a few interesting attacking ideas. I've got a few attacking ideas here. It could be one of these. Something's kind of playable. This guy is hanging, man. He gonna attack my queen. He gonna get the bishop here as well. Well, I gotta attack first. Yeah, he gonna play bishop here or rook here. There's a lot of things going on. He could attack me with rook on f. Exactly. Exactly right, fellas. If I... No, I can't. Can I go? No, I can't. Can I go here? Probably I have to. Difficult. Very difficult. I should take this b2 pawn. I should play. I should do like 3-4 things. I should do 3-4 things at once. So he attacks. Makes sense. He goes for the f like 3 billion times. Can I take? It's difficult, man. He attacks f2. This is a serious thing. Don't know what the heck I mean, okay, maybe it works. It's a defensive idea, but what the heck am I supposed to do anyway? You gotta check here. Well, wait a minute. Game's not over. It's a freaking blitz. Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. I've got a billion extra pieces here. Bishop takes. The game is not over. Wait a minute. The game is not over. And it's a blitz, soon to be a bullet. Game is not quite over. Well, I can't. But I can move this guy, perhaps. Wait a minute. What the heck's he doing, man? I'm sorry, I have to. Then I could play this. Eventually. Or maybe I could play this or this. Because if he takes... Okay, it's very difficult. So I could play this. They take checkmate. No, not checkmate because the bishop blocks. Okay, but I could play this anytime. 2-2-4, 2-2-4. Okay, materially probably. Okay, heck, it's difficult. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. I had to play this, and now I don't know. The bishop is not that great. It ain't. It ain't that great. Maybe I have to attack something. I don't want to take. He's gonna attack my knight. Any minute now, he's gonna attack my knight. I'll try to play something with tempo if I can. He got a bishop pair, alright? He got a bishop pair. He got an extra pawn. White is doing better here. They're doing better here, and now they're gonna attack my knight. Probably. They're doing better here. Yeah, they're doing better here. Of course. It's not that great. Okay, where do I go? Okay, I don't have to, but this guy's gonna be captured now. So maybe can I create some other threats? He's gonna take this guy with tempo. Check, bishop takes check. I have to move. And he's gonna do something like this and still doing better. If there's anything, maybe I can flag the guy or he's gonna blunder more than me. Yeah, he goes for this guy. Let's go for this. No! Oh, come on. Yeah, this game's done. I'm gonna play because it's bullet. But yeah, I think it's a bit done now. I don't want to trade anything. I'm not in a position to trade. But I am in a position to attack. But the bishop pair is the bishop pair. Bishop pair is the bishop pair. He could play bishop here. And I could attack this guy, but still not okay. Still not okay. Okay. He's going to take that guy, isn't he? I don't want to trade. But he got a bishop. That's done. 16 seconds. Maybe he's going to stalemate me. Or maybe not. Yeah. Yes. Maybe next one. Good game, very good game. Let's play this fella here. I see 3. I don't have to take. He's going to play here, right? He did it? Okay. Let me just cancel. Hey, I like this guy ideas. I'm going to play that one anyway. So he castles or not, I'm going to get a knight over too. I mean, check. But I can play it anyway. Check. Maybe I should have played d6. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it's interesting. I'm looking at queen takes h7. He just defended. He just defended, didn't he? Could I go here for this? Or could I go... What? Hold on a sec. No. We'll see about that. Hey, what's this en passant thing? I think I'm going to go this way. Is this playing the knight I want to take, right? Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's see how they play now. Okay. Well, yeah, that knight has to go. Okay. I think I can play this. Well, he's going to move this guy one more time, right? Let's play this for now. I'll explain why, I think. The bishop is a little bit blocked like everywhere. My knight is going to be traded sooner or later, I guess, but that goes okay for me, I suspect. Okay, now I'm attacking h6. Should I go? No, I can't go that, but I can go this way. And I'll explain why. Okay, I have to get things differently. How do I attack that h6 guy? Very many times. Let's block off everything in terms of that bishop doesn't exist. And I'll try reroute things. Maybe I'll go, I don't know yet. Maybe a rook? I don't know yet. I don't know just yet. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure just yet. Could I? Oh, I just dropped that pawn. Complete idiot. I dropped that pawn. I have to defend that guy. Let me go here. I want to play this. See if I can open up this way. What's it doing? He goes for this guy now. Really? He definitely does. But that one I think it's a good idea. I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade, man. I don't want to trade. Which way to go? Yeah, okay. It's got to be something with that. I have to push the h-pawn. I have to push the h-pawn. I have to push the h-pawn. Right? It's a very delicate endgame. My bishop may... Oh, come on. I don't want to do trades. This is awful. But I don't want to let him using that bishop, though. Let's see if this endgame is more beneficial for white. I think it might be. Okay. His bishop doesn't exist yet, but there's things happening. I tried to break through the first one on the A and B file, so let's see how this thing gonna happen. Takes. Right, okay, I'm taking this guy, right? Well, he blundered, though. He gonna resign now. He blundered. Yeah. If it's not you blundering, is the other guy, or vice versa, or both of you in turns going to blunder. Alrighty. .50. So guys, if you want to analyze your last rapid game, we can look into that. Playing with the blacks now. Yeah, I could push this guy, but let me develop. And then I'll push. I still have to console. Let's just do that. Let's send this guy away now. They have to go away. And now I'm gonna push. Pawn takes. Do I play queen c7? No, let's take. Yeah, let's take, because a pawn is a pawn, right? Unless I'm blundering, that should be extra stuff. Anyway, going backwards now. You go for this guy. Well, okay. Queen c7. Okay. I think we're good with this, with bishop bishop a6 here. Wait a minute. Let's just play this. Now I'm gonna play this. They can't really take because of that. So knight now attacks the bishop. If bishop goes away, I think I'm going to take on f4. Wait a minute. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? I mean, they can't take it. Now I could take, and I will. Thanks for following, fella. I need to further activate my guys a bit more. Thanks very much for following. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Fully appreciate that. If you want to analyze your last rapid, happily doing so. I think I'm winning a pawn again here. I'm happy to trade off on things. Wait a minute. Let's not. Let's win the queen, though. I want to win the queen. No, but still, I think we're doing fine, yeah? Still think we're doing fine. I could take this guy, though. What's wrong with this? What's it doing? Oh, I'm not greedy, you know. Let's take. What about this? What's wrong with this? He wants to checkmate me on h7, I know. But let's attack the queen first. I think his bishop is suffering a little bit, but once they go c2, they're doing very well. He still wants to go with that idea. I want to trade off, fellas. I want to trade off everything now. Where the heck do I go? If I take, the guy takes. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do just yet. Can I play this? I just played it. I don't know if that's the best move. Oh, sugar. I need to play this now. I don't know. Where the heck do I go now? Can I go here? Yeah, but I'm losing my rook, for Christ's sake. This guy's annoying, man. Okay, there is something everywhere. I could have taken this guy, then go some check something, but I like the bishop pair very much. What did he play? A4? That's a waiting move. That doesn't mean a bloody thing. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Rook takes. That's... I don't like it. Queen here. No, I'm losing this guy though. Pawn. I don't know. Jesus Christ, this guy is so annoying, eh? I don't have time for this, man. Is he gonna... screw this. That bishop was great. That bishop was really great. That bishop, I think, was the greatest. I think that bishop was the greatest ever. I gave up my beautiful bishop. My very, very, very beautiful bishop gave up on them. Let's shut off now this. No. I don't know just yet. Let's go here. Yeah, I know. So the heck, shall we go? Wait a minute. Just wait. Maybe this. I need to try find some ways to attack the H. No, there's a queen. Wait, but maybe this way. Do I sack anything? No, I don't think so. Maybe this. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. He could check me, but then I guess I'll move the king, which is blocked with the rook. I'm still not sure. Let's play this. What the heck are you doing, man? Well, I don't know yet. Let's go here for the time being. Wait a minute. Why? Does that mean anything? He gonna go back rank though. He takes with the rook, right? Check. Oh man, I'm running low on time. Are you serious, man? He gonna take now. Pieces are gonna get traded. No, I just blundered. No one. Yeah, this is gone. I can't move it anywhere. I had something, but I messed it up. Yeah, let's resign this one. That was a shame because I had a winning position at some point. I think the blunder was here that I played. That's not great. So rook g5 is not great. Not rook g5. The other rook would have been a thing. The other rook. So not rook g5. Rook g5 is not good. Not rook g6, g5, rook g3. Let me look at something else. Maybe just trading off this guy. Takes and that's that. And then maybe just this. Queen takes, the other rook takes, and still not the best one ever. Yeah, queen g5, rook g3 to g5, maybe rook g3 to g5 would have been better. Yeah. Okay, let's find out what was I supposed to be doing here. So I think rook g3, g5 is playable here. You could also go with the queen, but okay, let's find out actually. Queen g5. Yeah, just trading off everything. Queen g5, queen d8 doing king h7, although it's a bit weird, but yeah, I could have. Queen g5. I guess rook g3 to g5. Yeah. Well, I needed more seconds and I didn't have them. Needed more seconds, but I didn't have them. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Yeah, I was just supposed to trade off and then enjoying the control over the dark squares and things. Not easy. Not easy. Not easy when you don't have time on all. Bishop takes, bishop takes. Yeah, trades is going to happen though. This guy takes. This guy takes. Takes. Okay. Maybe, yeah. Hmm. Okay. perhaps. Should I go here? We'll see about that. No, you're trolling, fella. You're a very weird person that is trolling a great deal, and I think you've been banned before, and you keep coming back pestering things. So I think the not serious one is you. You're the troller guy. I don't think you're serious at all. Sorry. Goodbye, fella. Try be more serious yourself, though. Okay, bishop takes. Rook takes, queen takes, I guess. Okay. Right. Did they... What the heck was that? What did he want to play? Oh, right. That was the wishful chess. He wanted me actually to take with the pawn. All right. That's the hopeful move they did. All right. So now he wanted me to take with the c2 so that he takes on c1 with the triple battery power and things. Right. That's why he took. That's why he took. I understand why. Okay. That's why he actually wanted to. I see. Yeah, that was the hopeful thing. Hey, they played the... Wait a minute. I really apologize. I apologize for the abort, but I think... Oh, come on. I think Magnus and Hikaru playing, man. Did I? Oh, yeah, I've aborted. I apologize for this, but I think freestyle chess Paris tiebreak. Yes. 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 Sorry, I've aborted because I've seen this guy started now. I apologize for this. Arjun and Nepo. So now they play a rapid time format in the tie breaks, the semifinals tie breaks. Tie break time control 10 minutes and 10 seconds per move. All right, these are the different rules, fellas. Different rules than the what we've seen in the second game of the semifinals. So in the tiebreak, obviously there is a diminished time control here. Mm-hmm. Knight d6, play by Nepo. What is Arjun going to do here? Can you do a pressure on the pin? Well, it's not pinned, isn't it? So probably you kind of have to take, unless you want to go differently. Or would you go this way? No, they took on d6. Now you could play maybe some bishop. Okay, what was the last move here? Rook e1. I thought you're supposed to maybe play... Wait a minute. He wants the castle short, right? So rook fe1 in order to castle, amongst others. There's many ideas as well. Hello, Mr. Few Gaming. So rook f to e. I guess you want a castle short. Could you play this? Or would you castle short first? Looking at castle short and then playing maybe e2 to e3. Let's see what Arjun plays. Also, we've got up the store of playing Maxim, MVL, b4, b4, not allowing. Oh, right. Well, he want to break. He want to do this kind of stuff, I suppose. So that's why he played b4, right? He wants to push c5 or something. The knight wants to come in on. That is e3. Wait a minute. Yeah, of course. d4, f5, e3. I think this is the plan for black. And that looks a little bit alarming here. White can castle short. White can castle short. If you don't castle short, I don't know what you're doing. Well, you can push c-pawn, right, as you probably wanted to in the first place. When he played b4, I think he plans on to going c5. All right. Knight f5 for knight e3, exactly as we said. b4 intended to actually support c5, so c5 takes and takes. Attack on a queen. Queen has to go now, somewhere. Also, it's worth noting that bishop can go b3 along this diagonal. Bishop can go b3 and stuff like that. Queen retreated. Queen to e5. Double attack on this guy. That is the f4 black pawn. So that guy is hanging. Is being attacked. Now this move looks weird to be played now because f4 is going to be removed. Would you play something like this? But then it's going to be h4. I don't think you want to play g5 here with black, right? You may want to play some queen f6. Queen f6, queen f6. Yeah, but f4 is going to be captured anyway, right? So the problem is for black that the f4 black pawn is going to be captured. So g5 is not... Okay, he played g5. He played g5. And would you do h4 now? Then there is knight g3. True. Or there is maybe knight e2, e3. So I'm not sure about h4. Bishop b3, I did say that's a move white should think about playing. Because that's where the black king is. Are these guys going to be castling or not? The question is, if they're going to castle or not. You could castle short both, for white and for black. For black, I think it's good to castle so that you're no longer having the black king on this diagonal. And probably for white, it's good to castle as well. Well, can you play king f2? And you pretend you've castled? You have the best of the both worlds? I think probably king f2 now. It's like you've castled and you could pursue eventually some h move, h pawn going upwards and things, I suppose. So king f2 and then go with the h pawn or whatever you see more fit to play here. It could be some other ideas, but looks like king f2, like you castle the king and then you're ready to go. I think so. I think that might be an idea. h4, some king f2. I don't know in what move order exactly. Four minutes for Eric Icy. Queen to d6. You're going for queen trades now. Interestingly. He's still going to play king f2 sooner or later, I think. Because the h column is quite important, I think. Interesting. Queen takes, pawn takes. That's automatic. Yeah, that's an automatic move. Queen takes, pawn takes. Automatic move. And then I guess he wants to do some activity with the knight. Maybe knight c5, attacking this guy here. Right? That was automatic. Queen takes, queen takes. I think you want to do this kind of stuff. Not anymore after rook had played. You can't do that guy. But you could do it if you go rook c. When you go rook e to c1, I think black's going to either castle or move king g7 or something. So that you free up the rook yourself. So rook e to c, because you want to go back rank, right, and things. Or you want to attack the d7 with maybe rook c7. Maybe you want to play rook c1 and then rook c7 attacking both d7 and a7, maybe. So rook ec1, castle short, or king g7. There's many ideas happening here. Rook ec. Rook ec, because otherwise you can't play knight c5. So you won't be able to play that unless you play rook ec. Yeah, thanks for following the ghost, fellas. Appreciate. But after rook f5, he went g4 by Arjun. G4. It's a weird choice here. I suspect if black takes en passant, you're going to take back. You're going to take back, enabling the h. But I'm not sure about the g4 move. I thought that maybe rook ec1 was maybe better or something. This is very, very, very weird stuff. Huh. g4. g4. Let's find out if the Almighty agrees with g4. I thought maybe rook ec would have been my choice, but yeah, rook c1. Okay. And king f2. I did say king f2. I said king f2 rather than castling, and I did say rook c1, which is a g4 is not that great. Yeah, so I was at least once correct here. Yes, rook c, king f2. I did mention those. I wouldn't play g4 here, but it's okay. It's fine in terms that white's still doing better here. So now you take, okay. You take. You have the h. You could play king to f2. You will do rook e to c1 later on. Okay, so fellas, that's 4:30 now. I'm going to have to pause it for the time being, needing to attend to some other stuff. Thanks for being here, fellas. Tomorrow, 12 p.m., I think I want to cover the finals. If you guys are available, we can do this one together if you prefer. Thanks for following, though, or subscribing. Seeing you guys